Ciao a tutti. Hi everybody and welcome. Welcome to part 2 of learning Italian with song lyrics. Today we're going to translate a song. We're going to translate the entire song. Today's song is from the Italian rock band Modà. I really love this group. I love this video. I think these guys do a lot of great music. Now, like I said, instead of picking out a small portion of the lyrics and going into great detail, we're going to translate the whole thing. So you're going to get less detail, but I think you're going to have a better overall experience. It might be a little bit intermediate, but if you are a beginner, you're certainly going to get something out of it. I think if you're advanced, you're going to get something out of it as well. This song is mostly in imperfetto tense. That's the past tense that describes things or talks about habitual actions. In this particular song, most of the things described with imperfetto tense don't have concrete beginnings or ends. If they did, they would use passato prossimo or they would use passato remoto. That's normally found in literature or fairy tales. We'll see it in the second verse of the song. So just as a review, passato prossimo and passato remoto are for concrete actions that started and finished in the past. Imperfetto is for habitual actions or describing things that don't have concrete beginnings and ends. So let's review some of the endings for imperfetto, specifically lui and lei, he and she. That's the ava, eva, and eva endings. And loro, they. That's avano, evano, and ivano endings. So for instance, he went from andare to go would be andava. He used to go to the store a lot. Andava spesso al negozio. She ate from mangiare, to eat. Mangiava. Da ragazza mangiava la pizza a scuola ogni settimana. As a kid, she ate pizza at school every week. They ran from correre, to run, correvano. Correvano notte e giorno. They ran night and day. Although in English you might say day and night. See how these are habitual or they are used to phrases or things don't really have concrete starts or finishes? Imperfetto. We're going to translate the entire song, but I'm not going to show you the whole video, only the portions where they're singing, so that we can go over each part and translate. So in the description below, I've put a link to the entire video. Watch the song first. Definitely watch the entire song first, then come back to me at this point in the video. I'll wait. Okay, welcome back. Let's get started. So like I said, we're going to show each portion, and then we're going to translate as we go.
Erano sposati solo da 2 ore, non parlavano.
Okay, let's start with the title. Quel Sorriso in Volto. Quel from quello. Remember, quello sort of acts like the article. So you could have quello, quegli, quel, because sorriso would require il, quello becomes quel. In volto, literally on face or in face. It just means, it's a fixed expression that means on her face, on your face, on his face. Erano sposati solo da 2 ore e non parlavano. Literally, they were married only since 2 hours, and they weren't speaking, and they didn't speak, and they didn't talk. So, if you're going to talk about an action that's still going on, you're going to use present tense or imperfetto, and then da, and then the amount of time. So they had been married for only 2 hours. And you have 2 imperfetto verbs here. Erano from essere, they were, and parlavano from parlare, they spoke. They had been married for only 2 hours, and they weren't talking.
Lei sudava sotto tutti quegli strati del suo abito.
Lei sudava sotto tutti quegli strati del suo abito. She was sweating, that's from sudare, to sweat, sotto, under, tutti, all, quegli, again, this is quello, and it sort of becomes like the article. That's why it's quegli, because strati, layers, strato takes low, so strati takes gli strati, so it's quegli strati, those layers of her dress. She was sweating under all the layers of her dress.
Lui guidava sguardo fisso sull'asfalto la sua Cadillac. Con Las Vegas alle spalle d'una meta ancora incognita.
Lui guidava sguardo fisso sull'asfalto la sua Cadillac, con Las Vegas alle spalle ed una meta ancora incognita. He was driving, guidava, from guidare, to drive, sguardo, gaze, his look, fisso, fixed, sul asfalto, on the asphalt, la sua Cadillac, his Cadillac. He was driving, looking at the asphalt. He was driving his Cadillac, looking at the asphalt. Con Las Vegas, the city with Las Vegas, alle spalle. Alle spalle literally is to the shoulders or on the shoulders. It's how in Italian we say behind him or at his back, in the rearview mirror, to coin a phrase. Ed, and, una meta, a destination, ancora, yet, or still, incognita, unknown. He was driving his Cadillac, gaze fixed on the asphalt, with Las Vegas behind them, and a yet unknown destination.
Si diceva che erano pazzi e si baciavano sui metro per poi litigare ancora e darsi un altro abbraccio.
Si diceva che erano pazzi e si baciavano sui metro per poi litigare ancora e darsi un altro abbraccio. It was said, so this is from the impersonal si. So you could say, or it was said that eran, from essere, it's again imperfetto for they were, erano, pazzi, crazy, e si baciavan, so this is si baciavano, from baciarsi, to kiss each other. It was said that they were crazy and they would kiss each other sui metro, on the subway, per poi, and then to litigare, fight or argue, ancora e darsi un altro abbraccio, still, and give each other another hug. So, like the legend was that they were crazy, they would kiss on the subway, but then fight and hug each other again. So they were sort of going back and forth.
Ignoravano la gente che rideva sempre un po'.
Ignoravano la gente che rideva sempre un po'. They would ignore, from ignorare, to ignore. This is imperfetto again for loro. They would ignore. La gente, the people. So the people in English we sort of do as plural, but in Italian, la gente is singular. That's why it's che rideva, that would laugh. So you can use che where you might use who. They would ignore the people who would laugh. Ridere, to laugh. So they would ignore the people who would laugh. Sempre un po', always a little. The people would always laugh a little.
Quando si vestivano da sposi un giorno sì e uno no.
Quando si vestivano da sposi un giorno sì e uno no. When si vestivano. So this is from vestirsi, to dress yourself. Vestirsi da sposi, to dress yourself, da, for the purpose of sposi, wedding or marriage. So literally they were putting on their wedding clothes. Un giorno sì e uno no. This is a fixed expression that means every other day.
Quando lei piangeva e lui cantava un pezzo
quando lei piangeva e lui cantava un pezzo malinconico. When she would cry, piangeva, again imperfetto, from piangere to cry, e lui, he, cantava, would sing, or he sang, from cantare, to sing, un pezzo, un piece, a piece or a song, malinconico, melancholic or melancholy, or a sad song or a sad piece.
Stranamente le tornava all'improvviso, come sempre, quel sorriso in volto.
Stranamente le tornava all'improvviso, come sempre, quel sorriso in volto. Strangely, it would return to her, lei, to her. Tornava, from tornare, it would come back to her. All'improvviso, suddenly or all of a sudden. Come sempre, like always. Quel sorriso in volto, that smile on her face. So the smile on her face is what was returning to her. Le tornava. So in that case, tornava is being conjugated for quel sorriso. Quel sorriso is returning to her. Strangely or weirdly, it would return to her all of a sudden, like always, that smile on her face. So now in the second verse, they're going to use a combination of imperfetto and passato remoto, which will become clear shortly. Remember in the beginning we said passato prossimo and passato remoto are for fixed actions in the past that had definite starts and ends, and they finished in the past. Imperfetto is for describing things or habitual actions, things that don't necessarily have concrete beginnings and ends.
Fermi ai bordi della strada, lui insultava la sua Cadillac.
Fermi ai bordi della strada, lui insultava la sua Cadillac. Stopped on the borders of the road, stopped on the side of the road. Ai is a plus e, because it's i bordi, the borders, ai bordi, stopped on the side of the road. He insulted his Cadillac, from insultare, to insult.
Lei si allontanava in abito da sposa dalla macchina.
Lei si allontanava in abito da sposa dalla macchina. She, lei, si allontanava, from allontanarsi, to distance herself, to go away. She went away in abito da sposa, in dress for purpose of wedding, for purpose of marriage. So she went away, she ran away, she walked away in her wedding dress, dalla macchina. Dalla, because it's da plus la, together, dalla, macchina, car. So she went away from the car in her wedding dress.
Amore mio, dove stai andando? La rincorse e l'abbracciò.
Amore mio, dove stai andando? La rincorse e l'abbracciò. Amore mio, dove stai andando? My love, dove, where, stai andando, you are going. Where are you going? He could have said, Amore mio, dove vai? Where are you going? But this is right in the moment. So he's using the gerund form of andare, to go, which is andando, going. And when you use that gerund form of a verb, before that you have to conjugate stare in whatever tense. Because he's talking to her in the moment, it's present tense. Stai andando, you are going. Dove stai andando? Where are you going? And here's where they switch to passato remoto. La rincorse, her, la, rincorse. He ran after, he chased after, he pursued. This is from rincorrere, and again it's in passato remoto, because it's sort of an old story, it's a fairy tale, or it's like as you would read it in literature. That's why it's not in passato prossimo. E l'abbracciò. This is from abbracciare, to hug, and it's la abbracciò, but because la ends in a vowel and abbracciò starts with a vowel, they run them together and you can use L apostrophe. abbracciò, he hugged her, la abbracciò.
Poi la prese in braccio e proseguì verso il deserto.
Poi la prese in braccio e proseguì verso il deserto. Again, passato remoto, because these are fixed items that had a definite beginning and end. In the previous part, he ran after her. That was a concrete event that happened and ended. He hugged her. That was a concrete event that began and ended. And in this part, la prese, he took her from prendere, to take, in braccio, in arm, he took her in his arms, e proseguì, from proseguire, to continue, to pursue, verso il deserto, toward the desert. Remember a minute ago she got out of the car and she went away.
Chi li ha visti allontanarsi è un camionista di New York.
Chi li ha visti allontanarsi è un camionista di New York. Who, them, he saw go away. So, who saw them go away? So you have a couple things going here. A visti, because the object is li. And because the object is li, visti, which was visto, has to match. So it wouldn't be li a visto, he saw them. It would be li a visti, he saw them. Allontanarsi, go away, walk away, go far away. E is un camionista, a truck driver. I know camionista looks like a feminine word because it ends in a, but it's like pilota. If you're a male pilot, you're un pilota. If you're a male truck driver, you're un camionista. Di New York, from New York. So the one that saw them go away is a truck driver from New York.
Disse che quell'uomo strano le parlava invece no.
Disse che quell'uomo strano le parlava e invece no. He said, this is again passato remoto, from dire, disse, he said, che quell'uomo, that man, strano, strange, that strange man, le, to her, parlava, he was speaking. He said that strange man was speaking to her. E invece no. And instead, no. Or we might say, but no. He said that strange man was speaking to her, but no.
Di sicuro le cantava quel suo pezzo malinconico.
Di sicuro le cantava quel suo pezzo malinconico. Surely, di sicuro, surely, le cantava, he was singing to her. Cantava, again from cantare, we're back to imperfetto. Quel suo pezzo malinconico, his melancholic song, or that melancholic song, that sad piece.
Disse infatti che la donna lo guardava stranamente, col sorriso in volto.
Disse infatti che la donna lo guardava stranamente, col sorriso in volto. He said, in fact he said, that the woman, la donna, lo guardava, him, she was looking at, stranamente, strangely, col, which is col plus il, sorriso in volto, smile on her face. He said, in fact, that the woman was looking at him strangely with a smile on her face. And then the next verse includes lyrics that we've already heard in previous parts of the song, so I'm not going to cover that again, but we're going to wrap that up for today. È tutto per oggi. That's all for today. I hope you really got something out of this. I encourage you to listen to the whole song again, and hopefully you'll pick up more when you hear the whole song complete again. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Grazie. Ciao a tutti, and we'll see you in the next video. Ciao.